been a ton of controversy going on lately after, as a result of the Charlottesville, Virginia protest rally, of course, in Charlottesville, Virginia, as a result of the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee, the Confederate commander, Confederate General. Now we have a very interesting story here, and I really want to know what you guys think, because this is crazy, okay? So it says, Robert E. Lee, descendant, forced out of church after speaking against white supremacy. Now, Raw Story says, the Reverend Robert Wright Lee VI, a North Carolina pastor who is a descendant of Confederate General Robert E. Lee, has resigned from his church after what he says was a deeply hurtful backlash that he received for speaking out against white supremacy. In a letter published on the Auburn Seminary website, Lee said that he received some pushback in his church after he appeared at the MTV Video Music Awards, the VMAs, last month, and endorsed organizations such as Black Lives Matter and the Women's March as groups that are fighting against racial injustice. Quote, my presence at the church as a descendant of Robert E. Lee and an outspoken opponent of white supremacy had already attracted attention, but with my appearance on MTV, the media's focus on my church reached an all-time high. A faction of church members were concerned about my speech and that I lifted up Black Lives Matter movement, the Women's March, and Heather Heyer as examples of racial justice work. The church's reaction was deeply hurtful to me. He went on to say that he loved his congregation, but he said he decided to step down as pastor because he did not want to become a distraction to the church's larger mission. Quote, I regret that speaking out has caused concern and pain to my church. For this, I offer my heartfelt apology. I understand that my views could be considered controversial. I never sought this sort of attention, but I do believe in God's role in calling out for positive social change for the good of all. So basically what you have is, simply stating simple stuff, right? Going against white supremacy, endorsing Black Lives Matter, endorsing the Women's March, and talking about Heather Heyer as an example of why white supremacy is not good. The woman who was killed in Charlottesville when a neo-Nazi had rammed his car into a crowd of protesters. So this is something to consider. I mean, let me know what you guys think. This is a very interesting story. A pastor literally had to step down because of very commonsensical things like Black Lives Matter and Women's March. So just something very interesting. Support independent progressive media by leaving a subscription down below. Leave a like and share the video. Help us out on Patreon, or you can donate in other ways. Links are in the description down below. We are fighting Trump tooth and nail, and we will continue to do so with your help.